Okay, I'm going to give you a very quick video demonstration of our skilled nursing facility finance data. So I'll just run through all four modules very quickly and the fields within each. So we have provider number, skilled nursing facility name, city, state, cost report number, fiscal year, begin and end dates. We have the worksheet from which the data came from. So for this income statement module, you'll see that we're primarily getting our data from worksheet G3, worksheet A, and worksheet G2, part 2. We have the row and column from within each worksheet where each data field came from. We have some detailed descriptions for line items on each individual income statement. And then we have our figures, our data. So you can see revenues, you can see detailed expense line items. So this first one has about 21 detailed operational expense line items. Looks like they have some non-operating adjustments as well. And if we scroll down to our next one here, you can see the next one's revenue, gross, contractual allowances, and net, and then they have, looks like about 20 expense line items again, and a handful of adjustments again, non-operating adjustments. Then we have some sequence numbers to help you organize these within each cost report, and we have ownership control indicator type. So each one of these skilled nursing facilities has a different type of control or ownership. That may be proprietary ownership, that might be voluntary not-for-profit ownership. We have some partnerships in here. You can see some voluntary nonprofit churches, and then you'll see some government operated facilities in here as well. They might be county operated, or you might see a hospital district operating them. All right, so that's income statement. We'll move on to balance sheet. So here's the balance sheet data. The first several fields are the same as the income statement: provider number, name, city, state, report, fiscal period. This is all from worksheet G for balance sheet. Here's your rows and columns from where the data came from. And then we have major asset and liability class and detailed asset classes. So you'll see under current assets, we have receivables, cash, other receivables. Under fixed assets, we might have buildings, we might have equipment, and some of these are more detailed than others. We'll have other assets would be your intangibles, current liabilities, short-term notes, and then long-term liabilities and capital accounts. So some of these are more detailed than others. You can see this one down here has leaseholds, movable equipment. This one down here has some automobiles. So you'll see some will have fixed equipment, some will have their real estate on the books here as well. And then you have your data fields, of course. So here's your actual figures. And then you have your control ownership type field again. So that's balance sheet. We'll move on to operational statistics. So here's your operational statistics. Again, the first several fields are all the same: provider number, name, city, state, cost report number, fiscal period. All your operational statistics come from worksheet S3 part 1. You have your row and column, and then we're only showing statistics for two units. That is the skilled nursing facility unit and the nursing facility unit. So for each one of those units, you'll see number of beds, bed days available. You'll see the number of inpatient days by major payer class. That's usually Medicare, Medicaid, other in total. You'll see discharges by major payer class, average length of stay by major payer class, admissions, and FTEs. So that's operational data. We'll move on to square footage. And here's your square footage. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. You have your basic identification information, period. This comes from worksheet B1, row 1, and you'll see that about 98% of SNFs are allocating their capital costs on their cost report on the basis of facility square footage. Every once in a while in here you'll see one where they're not using facility square footage, and we have called those out. So they're using some other basis for allocating their capital costs. But the vast majority of them are putting their total square footage in here, and then you could also crosswalk over your ownership control type.